Hey y'all, welcome to a new video. So in the past, I have recently, within the last year or so, I posted this video about dyeing my eyebrows and how I do it because these are my brows sans dye in their natural habitat. This is the natural form. I basically look like a naked mole rat most of the time. I'm not unaccustomed to filling in my brows every time I leave the house. I don't like doing that though. So in the past, I have used this Godfrey tint kit to dye my brows, and I have left this on for as long as 4 hours. I have touched it up a day or two after. Like, I have gone to the max to see how much wear I can get out of this. And it's not much. It usually fades within a month, but so far it's been the best option. Just for men, over the counter, other dyes, I just haven't gelled with. This recently came across my purview. This is the Instant Brow Tint from Godfrey. So it's the same brand, but it's a very different delivery system, and I like it. The last time I dyed my brows was September, October. I don't know, let me look. It was a while ago. It was like fall of last year. All right, I can't find the exact date. It was sometime in November. I remember that. It was after I got out of the hospital. It was sometime around November. So the way that this one works is you get exactly, I think, 3 applications. It, in theory, lasts for 4 weeks. On me, it lasted longer. So I'm going to re-dye them, and I'll take you through the process, and we'll do it together. I really like this little kit, but I wish they gave you an extra tool. So they give you this guy, which is like the body of a Q-tip, but this is more of like a dental tool. You get this is the Instant Eyebrow Tint in shade. What shade is this? Medium brown, dark brown, medium brown. So on the packets. So what I like about this is it tells you how much of each. Now, the other kit I was using came with capsules that had dye and then a tube of developer. How much developer you were supposed to use, I don't know, because I never followed the rules. It gives you everything pre-measured. It gives you a workstation or a station de travail, and it tells you where to put things. And there's very specific instructions, which I like because it makes it harder for me to mess it up. So let me get out the instructions and I will read those to you and then dye my brows. And then we'll talk about the price breakdown and cost comparison and all that stuff to the other kit. All right, helpful hints before you get started. Use a lighted magnified mirror. I have a mirror in front of me that is lit up and has a magnifying plate on it. Keep a box of tissues or cotton swabs handy, always. Cover work area with a rag or a paper bag to prevent staining. Perform an allergy test. I'm not allergic to this stuff. I know I've already used it. Hair your brows. For best results, wash eyebrows with mild soap or water, or use an oil-free makeup remover and let dry before tinting. All right, so cotton pad and micellar water. So the only thing in my brows right now is skincare. I didn't even wash off last night's skincare. I just threw sunscreen on top of it because I was feeling lazy and tired today. I just got back from the ceramic studio where I had a very kind of gentle day of glazing my pottery. And I now have 2 pieces on the glaze shelf that should be back on Saturday. All right, so brows are drying. To protect your skin from accidental staining, yeah, some petroleum jelly. Okay, I'm gonna grab a rag. I then have the cream colorant and the gel activator, which are gonna go number 1 and number 2. Those are numbered. I appreciate that. So this is a bit of a different system than what I'm used to, obviously. This one, you have a capsule, you break it into a jar, You then add enough of your developer and you slap it in and you let it sit like a traditional die. Not necessarily the way I function anymore, but I think doing some cleanup might help, doing some prep work. So I have a tube of Vaseline, put some of that on the back of my hand and use a Q-tip. Now I'm using the light on my mirror, so my lighting is not going to be concise. It's not going to be as even. It's never even because I use daylight and it's never even. But here we go. I've got some Vaseline on a Q-tip. And I'm just going to run that around areas that I really don't want getting like out of the lines. I don't mind dyeing everything that's there because it'll make it easier once I go to get my brows waxed. It'll make it easier to see all of the little hairs. I'm getting Vaseline all in my brows. This is not helpful. All right, let's try that again. This time maybe use that enlarging plate. Next step, remove workstation card. This is the workstation. Squeeze entire contents of solution number 1 and number 2 onto the card. Do not mix. All right, so this is number 1. It's a little bit like a chocolate ganache. It's very thick and obviously has most of the color in it. And then this is the gel activator. Oh, that smells like chemicals. All right, so there is the gel activator. There's the cream colorant. So these are backwards. This is number 2 and this is number 1. Do not mix. It is best to tint one eyebrow at a time, allowing the color to process completely before starting the second. Using the enclosed applicator stick, apply number 1 to the brow, let stand for 2 minutes, wipe clean with a dry tissue before proceeding. If you want to achieve staining at the skin level beneath the brow for a tattoo, let the solution sit 5 to 6 minutes. Wipe the eyebrow clean and proceed to the next step. So it says to do 1 brow at a time, and I think I'm actually going to go by that. I'm going to turn my lighted mirror back on. So I'm just going into the cream colorant. I'm not going into the gel activator yet, but I'm going to pick it up. I like this little stick. It's very handy. It's relatively easy to work with too, especially when you go in with the tip. It allows you to get all of these little hairs. So I'm going to leave this on for maybe 3 minutes once I get it fully applied. All right. Alexa, set a timer 3 minutes.
3-minute timer started.
Wipe my applicator clean. That's a look. That is a look. L-E-W-K, look. All right, so this is going to sit for 3 minutes. I'm going to remove it and then I'm going to put the activator gel on. So what I like about this is you stain the brow, you stain the hairs with the dye first, and then you go in and use that, the gel that awakens everything. It's an interesting process. All right, we're waiting 3 minutes. I'm gonna go grab my iPad because I'm a child. Alexa, stop. 3-minute timer has elapsed. I'm gonna start with a dry tissue and go in and just wipe back. Double check the instructions, make sure this is right. Okay, yes. So wipe that clean. And now with the stick, I'm gonna go in with that gel, with that stuff. And that's only gonna stand for 1 minute. But you can see right away what's happening here. Alexa, set a timer 1 minute. Alexa, stop. All right, so now we're gonna wipe this off again. And I am immediately seeing staining. I'm immediately seeing color. Going in with a clean cotton pad. That's really soft. I do like it. I want some more color in the front. So I think I might go back in. I might clean my brow really well, let it dry while I do the other one, and then go back in. Okay, y'all, for the most part, the brows are dyed. I still need to go in and wash my face, clean off all the dye and any activator. But this is how they came out. I don't have it in me right now to talk about what happened and how much, but here is that work card. It's still got a fair amount of workable product on it. I just cleaned off my eyebrows from taking that ridiculous thumbnail. I couldn't be happier. They look really good. They're not too dark. They're not darker than each other. The shape is nice and soft, but manageable. I'm really happy. All right, on to final thoughts. All right, hey y'all, it's a couple weeks later. I got really sick. I got the flu. I'm on the mend, but I thought I would give y'all a eyebrow update before I put on makeup to film another video. So this is what the brows have settled down to be. They were first very thick, very richly pigmented, and they took a little while to calm down. I was looking a little bit like my thumbnail. I was looking a little bit like Bert from Sesame Street. But they're a little bit patchier than I normally, than they have come out in the past, which that may have just been a user error. It's only the second or third time I've used that product, but I like it a lot better than the tint mix from Godfrey. That is the instant brow tint. I'll make sure to link it below when I post this video. So let me know if you've tried this. Let me know if you dye your brows, what do you use? Do you use just for men? Do you use actual hair dye? What's your routine? I'm curious. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Make sure you're taking care of yourself so you can take care of each other, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, friends.